I'd like to tell you my funny story for my portfolio because it was a different funny story until a week ago. And then I want to talk about my favorite weekly thought that I had as I look back through them. And then I would like to also share with you a section I have entitled Fueled by Coffee, What I've Learned and What We Should All Take Away. So, step back to last Thursday. It's 5:30 in the morning. My alarm goes off. I'm not very excited about my alarm going off at 5:30 in the morning. But our very lovely Nikita had scheduled me a Toastmasters appointment for actually tomorrow morning. So, in solidarity, I went with her to hers. Now, Toastmasters that everyone else has talked about, meet at night, serve food, there's a bar, it's my kind of Toastmasters club. This Toastmasters club meets at 6:45 in the morning. I don't know who gets up and talks that early, but not me. I'm not a talker till at least 9:30 and a couple of cups of coffee, right? So, long story short, we get there after sort of being lost a little bit and end up having a great time. I'm really excited to speak there tomorrow. We get back to Nikita's friend's house in Tacoma, and none of us have class. She doesn't have class till 10, I don't have class till 11. We sit around and watch Criminal Minds all morning, drink coffee. It was awesome. What wasn't awesome is we stepped out and Nikita's tire was flat. The rear left. So I say, no problem. I'll give you a ride to school. I'll come back after school. We'll change the tire. It won't be a big deal. Wasn't a big deal. Did school. That was done. Went back, changed the tire. There was a few mild complications, like the replacement tire was actually almost flat. Which you can't really ever tell until you jack the whole thing up, take it off, put it on, put it all together, and then go down and go, oh. Yeah, that doesn't have enough energy. So, we got some air in the tire, fixed it all up. We ended up all checking all our tires and laughing about it. And then I drive home. Well, it's getting to be about 5 o'clock, so I take Stillicon as opposed to going down I-5. And just before I get into that little town on that road that is Stillicon, heading south, there's a red Mustang pulled over on the side of the road. The back tire is shredded, just totally off the rim. So I'm kind of thinking, not a big deal. I already changed one tire today. What's another one? Not a big thing. Pull over, back up, get out. This is the moment that I realized that when I was changing Nikita's tire, it was raining. I had to lay on the ground. I was a little bit wet, But whatever, not a big deal. Get to this little car, and I walk up to the driver's side window, and they're cracking about this much. And they go, it's a tire. Jesus. Look in, it's probably two 17-something high school girls in overpriced designer jackets driving either their Mustang or Dad's, I don't know. And they have just destroyed the rim, and they're sitting there, both of them, just mascara running tears. I'm like, well, ladies, don't worry about it. I got my gear out already. Not gonna be a big deal. Let me swap this out. Get the they don't even get out of the car, which kind of made me laugh a little bit. Didn't make me laugh later, but at first it did.
Their mom.
So, as the rain begins to intensify, they pop the trunk, and I'm moving like 17-year-old girl's clothes out of the way to get it up, to get the tire out. Get the tire out, get it up on the jack. And by about this time, everybody else has the bright idea to take that road too, instead of taking I-5. So as I'm sitting on the side of the road, getting hit with rain this way, and then the splash from cars this way, right? And I'm thinking all right, sort of the rule is like you get out and you watch the person change your tire, Yeah. If not just for that, maybe you would want to learn, or you want to make sure it's done right, but also because some stranger's changing your tire in the rain. Give me a little support here. So, I'm soaked at this point. Just completely soaked. get the tire back on, you know, get it all ship-shape, look around, look at all the other tires, give it kind of the, you know, the couple of point inspection, and I come back to the window. Sorry, I left out a very, very important detail. Halfway through changing the tire, as I'm trying to get the lugs off, which are impressively stuck on, they turn the car.
What
you guys doing? I hear the heater bust on. Now they fail to realize that if the tire's right here, okay, the exhaust pipe is right here. So pretty soon I'm sitting back there. Right. So eventually, by the time I get back to the window, I am perturbed, to say the least. But I'm thinking it's going to be all worth it when these couple of little crying girls that didn't know what to do, they had no idea what they were going to do. You know, I came by, saved them, right? They're going to be grateful, they're going to drive off, they're going to think about that later, they're going to tell other girls in the lunchroom the next day, oh my God, this tattooed guy and blah, 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 and he changed our tire, we didn't know it. Nope, none of that. Didn't even say thanks.
Oh.
Cracked the window, and I'm looking at it, and at this point I'm thinking, are you scared of me, or is it because it's raining this hard? Because either one makes sense, but I mean, come on, I just changed your tire. So she said, well, like, do we pay you?
I'm like, yeah, that's
Like AAA ferry just knew they were on the side.
Yeah, of course. No, it's all right. You know, just you're going to want to take this right into a tire shop because they're kind of like shoelaces. Once one goes, you never know about the other. And then the other thing is if you blow a tire, pull it to the side of the road and slow down easy. Don't jam on the brakes. You ruin that rim. All right. Well, you guys have a good day. Soaked. Jacket, sweatshirt, t-shirt, undershirt, A-shirt, all soaked.
Was it worth it?
The story continues, my friend. So, running out of time already. So, I'm angry, but I'm thinking, you know what? It's all right. I helped them out. It's not a big deal. They just didn't know what to do about it, so it's fine. I'm almost all the way home, just about 100 yards past exit 108, and the flashers, hazard lights on an old white Lincoln tells me that there is distress about.
Oh, no.
And so I'm thinking to myself, come on, Quinn, you've done enough today. And I'm thinking, is enough ever done? So, wrestling for the time it took me to slow down and get to the side of the road, I back up. Walk up to the Lincoln, and there's a feisty old woman in the front seat. Rolls down the window, and I say, looks like you're in a little trouble, ma'am. Can I help you out? And she said, well, you're not AAA, but I've been waiting on them for 2.5 hours. Fair enough. Can I help you change your tire? Do you have a spare? And she says, this is a Lincoln Continental. It's got 2 spares. Well, how many tires are flat, lady? So, I begin to change the tire. Now, on the side of the interstate, this is what I also didn't bargain on, was that right about where the tire was where the little trough is to roll the 3 inches of water off the interstate. So, get through changing her tire. Well, she says a lot of really fun things to me. Like, I was, it was pretty funny. I was pulling the back tire, or the tire out of the back, and she said, wow, you're not nearly as strong as you look. Thanks, lady. Wow. So I am going to go over just so everyone knows, but the last part's pretty fast. So, changed the tire. Now I'm impressively soaked. Like I jumped in a swimming pool and then didn't get out. I jumped in a swimming pool and then just stayed in for like hours and then got out. I mean, my cowboy boots were literally like water in the bottom. I don't even know how it got in there, but it was in there. So, just about the time I'm putting the flat tire back in the trunk, up rolls AAA.
Wow.
And he gets out of the truck, in a poncho, right? He looks at me and I look at him, dirt and grease on my face, soaked. He's looking at me. Look at him and I go, you're late. And he goes, sorry. He gets back in his truck. then this cute little old lady who was a complete pistol, she said, "Why don't you get home and have a cup of tea?" I said, "I think I'm going to do that." And then she gave me a hug and a really, really big kiss on my really, really dirty face. I got in her car, took off, and I kind of had that moment where I was like, yeah, you know, good job, Quin. You're a bad SOB, man. You're like, you know, saving lives, damsels in distress, fixing wagons, not even a big goes a semi. Get back in the van, finally make it home, where a cup of tea and some Jameson Irish whiskey cured all that. So that was, the funny tale before was pretty funny, but this one I thought took the cake for inside a couple hours. But the big joke is the night before I had to change my own time.